All right. I don't mean to start every video with some LaCroix, but I just or I keep calling it LaCroix. It's not LaCroix. I never realized how important texture is until seltzer. You know, texture is just really, really important. You know, because other than texture, it's just water, but just the bubbles. The bubbles, the sound, all that stuff. And then wearing a mask makes my lips really, really dry. I gotta put like, I gotta stop making this stuff taste so good. I thought I was gonna burp. I didn't burp. Okay. What's up, folks? My name is Melvin, and welcome back. So I am excited to be starting off another episode of now something I have a title for, Untitled Smorgasbord, because this is essentially an untitled smorgasbord. I write down a bunch of notes, and then I talk about it with you guys. So I don't remember the majority of these notes, but you know, essentially, I just don't have a lot of time to make videos of these ideas. So here, it gives me a chance to sort of, you know, take that opportunity. Like that. There we go. All right, just finished Untitled Smorgasbord #1. It was a lot of fun. 48 minutes, unedited, 3 hours of editing, cut a bunch of stuff. So yeah, that's essentially what. And I didn't intend for that. I didn't intend for it to be unedited. It just came out that way because I felt like it was kind of the best style for it. But I feel like this one's gonna have a little bit more editing just from the stuff I remember talking about. But yeah, first one was a success. I enjoyed it. I enjoy just kind of finding things to write down and sort of talking it over with you guys. I want to cancel NFTs. So if you think I'm in the camp versus liking NFTs versus hating NFTs, I hate NFTs. I think NFTs are really stupid. The best way I can describe NFTs personally, they're essentially the worst part of the art world just brought into technology. The newest form of clout chasing. How can you chase after something, you know, because right now more than ever, especially since a lot of our lives have changed due to COVID, we are just now more money hungry than ever. We'll just kind of do whatever it takes to kind of earn an extra cash, and NFTs seem to be that new way. The way before it, I mean, it's still pretty popular, but like stocks used to be the big thing people talked about, Doge coins and things like that. Now we're talking about NFTs because, again, people are seeing headlines of, hey, this dude didn't do much to have thousands and thousands of dollars, if not millions and millions of dollars. So it's like, hey, I want to do that too. I want to make millions and millions of dollars, you know? And people were doing the same thing with cryptocurrency, you know? Because people that had cryptocurrency in early 2010s now are millionaires. So it's like, Jesus Christ. So it's like we're all trying to chase money, but it's like it's getting harder and harder to predict how to even make money. And I feel like it's going to cause a lot of big problems down the line if it's just, oh, do this one random thing and you're just going to make a bunch of money. And that's not even talking about NFTs themselves. NFTs themselves have a lot of issues. Like I really just don't trust NFTs. They're not my cup of tea, man. Alrighty. So let's get this list right there. So it's Pink Flamingo, Cola Candy Chocolate, 8 Crazy Nights, and Batman Returns. So yeah, just kind of over the weeks, I just been watching a few movies with some friends over on Discord. And the first night involved Pink Flamingo and Cola Candy Chocolate. All I could say about Cola Candy Chocolate is it's this weird, obscure softcore porn from Germany in the 60s or something like that. And it's really, it's not even porn. It really isn't. It's I don't know how to describe it. All I can say is that if you watch it and you do happen to get subtitles, just don't put on any subtitles. It's a lot more fun to just watch it. Just watch it. Go at it blindly. You're not going to understand the story at all, but go with it. Go with it. Just treat it like some sort of Looney Tunes cartoon, and you'll be better off. Pink Flamingo. Pink Flamingo is, how can I describe it? Pink Flamingos is this weird, this weird film that just goes above and beyond to grab your attention. So this is when like midnight films were really popular at the time. So like around the 70s, like midnight films. So it was films that doesn't have a general audience and just relies solely on a niche audience. Pink Flamingo decided to scare people with just not just nudity, but just everything. They just threw everything plus the kitchen sink right at the audience, and people liked it, and it created a career for the director of the film, and I appreciate that because he actually has gone on to make films that I really, really enjoy. One of my favorite ones he's made is Serial Mom, so if you do have a chance to watch that, I do highly recommend Serial Mom. That's a fun one. And then another night, we decided to watch 8 Crazy Nights and Batman Returns. Because they're both Christmas films, and 8 Crazy Nights. It's one of those those guilty pleasure things that I just really, really enjoy when I'm watching with other people, because it really is a weird movie from its like. You know those movies that like you watch it and you're like, that's definitely a 90s movie, that's definitely a 2000s movie. 8 Crazy Nights definitely it's its own era, you know. It's a movie that feels like could have only existed from its own era, and it could have only been made by Adam Sandler, the one and only Adam Sandler. Is it a good movie? No, it's not a good movie. But I enjoyed it, and I think the people I watched it with enjoyed it in some way. It's a weird movie you're never going to get any other experience from, and it is crude. Now, Batman Returns. Batman Returns is also some sort of weird Christmas movie. It's a Batman movie made by Tim Burton. So yes, Tim Burton did make one of the original like superhero movies, you know, the ones that have shaped the industry to this day. You know, Batman being a little darker, just kind of the iconic things we know about him in cinema. Tim Burton sort of started it off, and yeah, it's Batman Returns. I feel like I need more time to talk about it, but I want to keep it really brief. So. Okay, you know, Nightmare Before Christmas, all those Tim Burton movies that we all know and love, like Edward Scissorhands, all those elements exist in Batman Returns. All the weirdness that we enjoy, all the things about Tim Burton you enjoy exist in this movie. People might give me flack for this, but I actually liked Batman Returns. I feel like it's a movie that's aged better than all of the Sam Raimi movies, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. I've watched those 3 recently and just didn't get as excited as I used to. And then I saw Batman Returns and I was like, oh, there's actually a lot to like about this movie. There's a lot of things I enjoy. It's not an amazing movie by any stretch of the imagination. Not amazing. It's good, but it has such an identity. It has a lot of fun that I really like about it, you know? There's a lot of fun to be had with this movie. And it's one of the things, like, superhero movies are just trying way too hard recently to try to be fun. And this one just feels natural. It feels naturally fun, especially for how dark it is. It's a fun movie. I enjoyed myself. T-Mobile raised their wages to $20 an hour. Isn't that exciting? $20 an hour. So the fun fact about me is I used to work for T-Mobile, but I worked with them when it was only $14 an hour. Now, I didn't work directly from T-Mobile. I worked for a third party that represented T-Mobile. They can make their wages however they want, but they did, when I started, they actually just raised it to $14 an hour. When apparently, if you worked for T-Mobile directly, they already had $14 an hour for quite a while before the company I worked for had it. I left the company for many, many other reasons. Actually, that pay wasn't that horrible, even though they did take away overtime. I really liked overtime, but they took that away. And yeah, just a bunch of other reasons I left the job. But then literally not even a month after I left the job, there was news that came out that they were raising the wages to $20 an hour. So if I do decide to work for corporate, that's how much I'd be making. And funny enough, it'd actually be more than the job I switched to. So I got a pay raise when I switched jobs, but oh my God. But okay, but the reason why I wrote this down is because I think it's a great thing. I think everyone's wages just needs to go up. Yeah, since the pandemic, it's just not, there's just been a lot of problems. Just everyone's working harder. I've noticed every job I've been to, everyone needs to work their butts off to make either the same amount they've been making normally, or they need to make more because there's just a lot of issues going on. So when I see this pay raise, I'm happy about it. Now, when you work for T-Mobile, it's a sales job. And the way I describe a sales job is just jobs that where, you get a certain cut for selling specific items. It could, things like that. So I'm wondering if that $20 an hour raise, I mean, of course, it's going to affect commission. Their commissions are probably going to go down way more. But in all honesty, I'd rather have a higher wage than high commission. So for me personally, like I worked at a dealership and the pay was super low, but the commission was your bread and butter. That's how, if you made good commission at a dealership, you'd be making way more money than you ever could at T-Mobile. But for me personally, my opinion, I would just rather have a higher wage. Man, I'm just working myself to the bone, But hey, congrats, I think it's a good decision. That's why I wanted to talk about it. So far, I'm not liking the first 2 episodes of Sunny. I blame social media for this. So let me explain that. So I am a huge Always Sunny in Philadelphia fan. I love the show. I mean, a lot of people probably talk about it, but it's a good show. It has a lot of well-designed characters, and they know what kind of situations to put them in. And I feel like the first 2 episodes, they kind of lost the point of these characters and just kind of like what we like about them. And honestly, it just wasn't, the first 2 episodes just weren't funny. And it's like the second episode was the first episode. The first episode was about getting PPP loans and like what they did with those loans. And it's like, do I really want to remember about 2020? Like, I don't know. There's really not much to joke about for 2020. 2020 is just a depressing year. It really is. There's not a lot of things to make fun of for it, unless maybe you're talking about like NFTs and Dogecoins, but everyone talks about NFTs and Dogecoins and Elon Musk. So it's like, there's not really much to talk about at all in this, in that, yeah, 2020 is just not just stay away from it. If you're going to try to do comedy, stay away from 2020, honestly. All right. Cowboy Bebop live action canceled. So this was a show that got super duper hyped. People were, going bananas for it, either saying like, oh, I think it's going to be good, or oh, I think it's going to be horrible. Things like that. I haven't seen the show personally. I was thinking about it, but if they kind of gave up on it already, why should I watch it? What's the point? And it seems like everyone who's a fan of the original Cowboy Bebop doesn't like it. But personally, I like to think that live action versions are allowed to change. They're allowed to be completely different from the original source material, because the original source material, if it's so good, if it's as amazing as people say, then they don't need another one. They can be totally content with the original. When they did the live action Death Note and people were saying how different it was, it's like, I don't care if it's different, because the original Death Note is one of the most perfect shows I've ever seen. I'm totally fine if they change it up, but according, based on the reactions, it just seems bad. And yeah, Netflix doesn't even seem to have hope for the show, so they're not gonna make a second season. It's weird to put so much investment in something only to kind of give up on it. Because I feel like if they would have admitted their mistakes, they should have just tried again. They should have just tried to make a second season, right their wrongs. So please unionize. It's clear that most big companies don't care about their own employees. That's fine, but we should make them care. So, I think you know, it's not just moral reasons that you should care for your employees, but it's just for obvious reasons you should care about your employees. Like, you want happy employees. Oh, there's no question about it. You don't want depressed employees. That just doesn't really make sense for your bottom line. Why would you want to create a company where people hate working for the company? I mean, like, if your only end goal is to just make money, and maybe that's what most big companies are just going for, then yeah, I guess just get your money and then your business will fail eventually and then you move on, I guess that's what most people want. And if that's really what they want, that's fine. It's just we need someone to care about these people working right now. I really do feel like, again, there's a lot of people I'm seeing that are struggling right now. It's getting harder for everyone out there to live in this world. And we need more people to start caring. I but it's not just caring. There's a lot of things that need to go on, but it's I don't know, man. It's a strange world out there. Really, I swear to God, like we need to do something. Why did I write this down? Why is it always hard to swallow a pill? I don't know. I have a weird, like, my throat is weird. I'm very sensitive. There are moments where I'm just eating food normally, and then like it doesn't even go down the wrong pipe. It's just like I start to cough uncontrollably because I just don't know how to swallow things, I guess. Sometimes I will swallow my own saliva and I will just start coughing uncontrollably. Like like my eyes will get so watery, like I was choking, but I wasn't choking. I have a weird throat. I don't understand it. It should be able to handle saliva, but I guess it can't. I guess saliva is too strong for my own goddamn throat. Oh God. Oh no. I'm so stupid. All right. By the time this video comes out, I don't think anyone's going to care anymore. I feel like anyone who wants to see the new Spider-Man movie is going to care. But if you do care about spoilers, I put timestamps in all of these kinds of videos, so you can skip this one. But I said prediction, Tobey and Andrew will not show up in the new Spider-Man, but instead will be referenced or end credits. So that's what I wrote down, but I am so wrong. I was 100% wrong, and I will tell you the exact reason why I got it. Okay, I know there's two specific reasons why I got it wrong. Okay, so before the movie even came out, there was a leak, showing Andrew Garfield in his spider suit, like just kind of playing the role normally. All right, but then someone was like, I forgot what YouTube video it was, but like then I remembered like deep faking exists. Like deep faking, you can deep fake almost any celebrity really convincingly. And I was like, oh, it could be. So I was like, all right, it could be deep faked. And then Andrew Garfield did some sort of interview, where it's like he has like a Google thing, like most trend searches or whatever. And then he was like, oh no, I'm not the new Spider-Man. I'm not the new Spider-Man. I was like, okay, all right, because people make these kind of predictions all the time. Everyone thought that Ant-Man was gonna like go into Thanos' butthole and then blow him up that way, and that clearly didn't happen. So I thought, okay, all right, Andrew, I will believe you, okay? If you're telling me you're not the new Spider-Man, that you won't be the new Spider-Man. And I was so wrong. I was so wrong to the. I trust people. I'm way too gullible. I'm. No more making content for others. I am my own pilot. I heed my own creative identity. So yeah, I'm just finding it so hard. I mean, I've always found it hard to just sort of follow whatever social media wants me to do. So I've been, making content for a while, and but I like whatever YouTube's algorithm is, it's not for me. It will never, unless it changes in the future. I don't think I'll ever have a big audience on YouTube at all. I don't think that's ever going. Oh, I made the same thing. So I already talked about these movies, but it has Punch Drunk Love and Seven. So I did watch those movies recently. So I guess I could talk about those. So Punch Drunk Love is a movie starring Adam Sandler, and it's about kind of him being manipulated by someone he called over the phone, but at the same time he's trying to garner a relationship with someone. But these people over the phone do find out about, you know, the girl he's with, you know, things like that. So they're trying to essentially take his money, and they're using the girl to threaten him with it. And I'm being as vague as possible because I do just want people to watch the movie Punch Drunk Love. I think it's a great movie. It's an amazing movie. I used to think that Uncut Gems was Adam Sandler's best role, but I think this movie kind of fits it better. Like, it really does feel like an Adam Sandler character, just in a completely different universe, which I absolutely love. I think his acting in it is really good. It's a character that has his guard up all the time, because one, he's just working all the time. He's his own boss, so he has to, he has to be, tough, in control, just kind of not letting his emotions run him. But at the same time, he has families and friends that that won't build trust on him, because one, he's prone to anger. Two, they always talk about him in a negative light, like always. They always talk about him in a negative light. Even if they don't see that, it's clear to Adam Sandler's character that they talk about things about him that make him deeply uncomfortable, and they just don't care, and they don't see that. And they always break the trust too. Like, they're always breaking just his trust, and it's like he is a sad character in this movie, just like incredibly sad, but also just very engaging. And then Seven is about trying to solve a murder case that's involved with the 7 deadly sins. So each character is killed based on one of the 7 deadly sins. And there's an old detective that's ready to retire, and then there's like a new detective that's just still learning his ropes. Brad Pitt, and Morgan Freeman, and I forgot who the director was, but the director was also involved in The Social Network. I love that movie. Fight Club, everyone loves Fight Club. So he's basically, every movie I've seen of his so far, I haven't hated. Like, they're all great movies, so I definitely recommend this one. So it's awesome. All right, ready for more Spider-Man spoilers? This was after I saw the movie. That note I wrote clearly was before I saw the movie. This is afterwards. So again, if you don't want any spoilers, just skip to the next one, and we'll talk about it later. So the ending to Spider-Man No Way Home was a perfect ending. So I've talked about this ending with quite a few people. Some who watch a lot of Marvel movies, some who don't. But I think that ending was absolutely perfect, considering just how big the Marvel universe is, how many superheroes they are. Because the one thing you don't want in a Spider-Man movie is to be complicated. They tried it 2 times. They tried it in Spider-Man 3. They tried it in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Both of those were some of the biggest mistakes ever in the franchise. So what's amazing about Spider-Man No Way Home is that they kind of made Peter Parker start all over. I don't understand the ending entirely, because it was like, because of the original spell that Doctor Strange did earlier in the movie that kind of messed with the multiverse and things like that. So in order to cancel the damage of the multiverse was to complete the spell that got messed up in the beginning, which is to make everyone forget that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. And that means absolutely everyone. So that means Peter Parker, when they do make another Spider-Man movie, he's on his own. He's gonna be doing his own thing. At least that's what's implied at the end. Because he doesn't have any help from Tony Stark or anyone Tony Stark's related to. Aunt May died in the movie. MJ, not Mary, but MJ doesn't remember him. Ned doesn't remember him. So he's essentially all by himself. Every connection he's ever made is completely gone. The ending, when I saw it, was incredible. It was sad. It was one of the saddest moments I've ever seen in a Marvel movie. So that's really impressive. It's a very sad ending, but it's also kind of uplifting, because it kind of shows the power of being Spider-Man and just what it means to kind of envelop hope, not only for yourself, but just for so many people around you. It's a very, very, I love it. I love it. So the ending was great, but I am getting tired of superhero movies, so I don't know if I'm going to keep watching them. Oh, they're so tiring. But I am excited for the new Batman. I do want to watch the new Batman movie. That looks really, really exciting. All right, search on YouTube. Alec Baldwin is wrong. So I've talked about the Alec Baldwin situation before. What I want to say again is just the situation with Alec Baldwin is disgusting. It's despicable, and just watching him not take as much responsibility as I think he should, honestly, it makes me want to throw up. It's kind of, and so what a bunch of people have been doing online, which I think is funny, and I would love to see in the comments if anyone wants to correct me or anything, please put it in the comments. I won't get mad if anyone decides to correct me. I want conversation. I want a discussion, all these type of things. Talk about Sunny V2 Ninja, or just talk about Ninja in general. So everyone knows the Twitch streamer Ninja. He's he live streamed Fortnite with Drake. Isn't that crazy? But anyways, I wanted to talk about it because everyone's like the rise and fall of Ninja, how Ninja fell, and then all I got to say is personally, I don't know what people are talking about. Like, yeah, sure, he failed. But like, he has millions of dollars. He has millions of dollars, and what's better is that people are forgetting about him. He's not as relevant. I don't know. I feel like there's only so much time I would want to be relevant, and then I wouldn't want people to know about me anymore. Like, I would only want to take advantage of my relevance for a short period of time, and then after that, I do kind of just want to slowly disappear. So if that's what's happening with Ninja, I'm totally fine with that. Like, I don't know. I'm sure that when he was blowing up on Twitch, just the amount of harassment and comments he got was just unbearable. Like, it changes a person. So just kind of letting that slowly go away, dude, I'm totally fine with that. I would take that life any day, just blow up, be the number one thing, and then just kind of die down, as long as it pays for my retirement, that's fine by me. Oh, I love this one. I hate the Kia logo. So it just popped up out of nowhere, but Kia has a new logo. I hate it. Whoever made that logo needs to die in a fire. If I was Anthony Fantano, I would give that logo a 0 out of 10. It's a disgusting logo. Now, it's not a horrible logo. It's not like insulting or anything. It's stupid looking. I don't know if you can see it right there. Okay. It's just so stupid. It's stupid. It's really, really stupid. It's a stupid, I just look at it and I'm just like, what were they thinking? I hope they change it back just so I could see that it was proven wrong. If they want to keep it, that's fine. It's just like, I was never going to buy a Kia before. Now I'll definitely never buy a Kia just for that logo. Okay, this one's kind of sad. Everyone wants new toys. No one can seem to afford it. What do we do? So it's like, I'm now more than ever, I used to hear about it in high school because in high school you didn't make a lot of money. But now I'm hearing like adults, like all their kids want, the only thing their kids want are the newest things, a new iPhone, like, new iPhones, PlayStation 5s, all this stuff. And it seems like it's harder for parents to afford those new toys for them. Like, they want new toys. And it was funny too, because I was like, so for Christmas, before the Nintendo Entertainment System, before that became the number one toy, whatever it was labeled as back then, before that was the new toy, the toy everyone wanted as a kid was a Teddy Ruxpin. That was what people wanted. Then the Nintendo system came out, and then that became the toy everyone wanted. So we've just changed our taste, and now it's becoming like there's just a bunch of kids with expensive tastes, and I've just been learning that from selling phones for months now. Like kids just want new iPhones, kids want new tablets, iPads, you know, all this stuff, all this expensive stuff. They don't want just any tablet, they want the iPad. They don't want just any phone, they want the iPhone, you know, stuff like that. All right, a great one to end on. I like this one. All right, I think forgiveness is one of the most important traits to have. Always learn to forgive yourself and others. Forgiveness is all about moving on. If you can't seem to move on about something, it sounds like that there is a lot of forgiveness that needs to be made. And we forget that we need to forgive ourselves too. Like, we deserve forgiveness just as much as anyone else, but we don't want to give it to ourselves. We want to be harsh on ourselves because we want to be better people. We learn that being, like, if you're being harsh, if you're being tough on yourself, that might make you a better person in the future. Maybe, but you also deserve forgiveness. You deserve to, you know, feel better after making mistakes. You deserve to feel better after being put in embarrassing situations. You know, no one wants to feel like worthless, like any like that your value has been depreciated. You know, it's your value. It's you, your value. We're putting some sort of valuation on our own lives, and that can hurt us at some point. So yes, forgiveness is really important for ourselves and for others. People want second chances, and I think we should learn to be able to give that out to people sometimes. So those are all the things I wanted to say. Another one down. So thank you so much for listening. So again, I have timestamps for all of these if you want to go back to some of them. I'll link my other channel just because I've been posting some of the clips there. So some of the fun ones here I will post over there. If you want to look at those, that you know, that's totally fine too. All right. Thank you very much for watching another episode of Untitled Smorgasbord. All right. I will see you guys next time. You guys take care. Bye-bye.